Okay, do you hear what he just said? Do you hear what he just said? Why don't you, for once in your life, just do the fucking news? All right, no. I'm gonna do the fucking news. No, here is the fucking news.
I love that video.
That was hilarious.
That was a good pick. That was a good pick.
Here is the fucking news.
That was good. Welcome to Dad Geeks Weekly. It's the 4th episode, and today we got some good stuff to cover. I am Chris, the real Darth guy. This is Larry.
Mr. Mixie S. Pitlick.
Welcome to the show. This week, a little less in the news area. You know, it was kind of slower, it seemed. I don't know why.
We got a little bit stuff.
I mean,
a little bit to cover.
We still will probably somehow figure out how to drag this out to an hour because that's just kind of where it ends up every time. But let's just jump right in. So, the first item of the day, gaming news, here we go, is no handheld mode in Mario Party. I don't know how I feel about that one.
I like it.
What?
I like it.
You crazy. Why?
I'm not. It gives everybody in the game the same. There's no advantages.
What do
if
you
you
mean?
have a pro, if you have a pro controller, you've got advantages. But if everybody's using the little Joy-Con,
little waiver thing, like, yeah, okay.
You've got no. There's no advantages.
I don't know, because the primary reason I have a Switch is to play it handheld. Like, if I sit down and play a game, I'm going to sit down in front of my PlayStation and rock out some Spider-Man because that's the best game on the planet. But anyway, I like the portableness of the Switch. So, for instance, in the car, you can't play Mario Party for shit. Because what are you going to do? Like, just prop it up in the car and be like, yeah, let's play.
Who's really going to play Mario Party with nobody to play with?
I would on a road trip. Totally. Because then you just tether it to your phone and play someone online and you're rolling.
Nah.
Boring. I don't know, but
to me, Mario Party is just that. It's a party game. You get your friends together.
That limits the amount of people that'll purchase, though.
How many people have you really heard about wanting to purchase this game?
I know 2 of them.
I want it. You want it.
Yeah.
But on the internet, there's nobody that's really dying to get this game.
There's less people than for something like Smash Brothers, of course.
Right.
But it's weird because you have this Switch, and you have the ability to play in, 3 different ways, really. Because you have handheld mode, you have tabletop mode where you prop the little screen up, and then you have, of course, on the TV. The only 2 ways you can play Mario Party are tabletop and TV, but you can't use any of the extra stuff. So you can't use your Pro Controller. You can't connect the Joy-Cons and play there. I understand where you're coming from on the whole evens the playing field side. I definitely get that.
I don't like playing online games and having somebody that's playing against somebody that's got
the
huge
the advantages of the Pro Controller and all that great stuff over you. Okay.
Right. Well, they've got the rapid fire controllers.
Those are garbage. Those are for cheaters.
So it evens the playing field.
Okay. I mean, I can see it. I feel like it's Nintendo doing we designed this game for one specific experience, and you're not going to get that experience with the Pro Controller or in handheld mode. So what we're going to do is we're just going to say, nope, you can't even do it. So, I mean, I guess I understand where you're coming from, but I also did buy a Pro Controller because I want to use that damn thing.
Well, play Mario Odyssey.
Or Mario Kart.
Or Smash Brothers.
Although I feel like like I said last episode, the handheld version of Mario Kart's the best version of Mario Kart.
You can...
It is, yeah, it's kind of cool to turn it, and it's interesting, yeah. Next item, up for bid, is the PlayStation Fortnite cross-play beta. See, we briefly covered PlayStation's statement on this before, and what they said is that they believe that PlayStation is the absolute best place to play Fortnite.
I guess they don't believe that any longer.
I guess they don't, right? I guess they're like, it's actually not that great, whatever. But so what they've done is they now said, in recognition of this, that this being that everyone wants crossplay to happen, which of course we do.
Everybody.
Why wouldn't we? So in recognition of this, we have completed a thorough analysis of business mechanics required to ensure that the PlayStation experience for our user remains intact today and in the future. as we look to open up the platform. I read that really weird, but that's okay. Basically, what they're saying is they figured out how they can keep making their money and allow this to happen. Because obviously, all they were worried about is the fact that if I purchase something, they're like, but I want you to have to purchase it on PlayStation.
That's where their exclusive games, they really need to make sure their exclusive games are top notch.
Spider-Man.
And they are.
God of War.
That's how that's how consoles should compete, is make sure their exclusive games
Right.
are top notch. That way people will want to buy your system for those games.
Well, I
And-
mean, if you think about it, most people were primarily playing on PS4. Then they got a Switch, and Fortnite came out on the Switch, and all they wanted was to take their PlayStation stuff that they've already got and put it on the Switch. That's all they wanted. It's not like they were like, I'm just going to switch over, no pun intended, to the Switch and just buy everything from Nintendo. No, they're probably going to still buy everything on PlayStation because that's their primary point of play. But just when they're on the go, when they're gone, they want to be able to like, oh, well, I can bring it with me.
I don't understand how Epic didn't have any say so in that at all, because technically you have to sign up for an Epic account. It's all ran by Epic, but PlayStation's like, no, you can't take any,
Right.
like
It's so weird. And then obviously it was just the business side, as they say, because now they flick the switch and it works.
yeah, so
And to further, what am I looking for? To talk about that further, their Fortnite or Epic is making a feature where now, because everyone had to create their 2 damn accounts, because I have Darth Toxicated, my primary name that I play under online, and then I have the real Darth guy on Switch because I had to make a second account. What they're going to do now is you're going to be able to pick one of the 2 and merge everything into the other one.
I like that.
That is amazing,
That's
because a lot of the
nice.
time a company would be like, well, sorry, not our fault.
Well, I just got the Galaxy Note 9,
Yeah?
and they've got the Galaxy
Were you
skin.
paid for that advertisement? No. That sounded like
I
a
won't.
ding, ring the bell.
I won't tell. I'll never. No, I wasn't paid for that.
That would be sweet if you were.
But I just got that, and it comes when you download the Fortnite game on there. It comes with a free skin,
Oh, nice.
and my son's
So
totally
you can rep Samsung in Fortnite.
Yep, and my son's totally jealous. He says that's the best skin in the game.
What?
Yeah,
Phone?
so
What? Okay.
he's totally jealous. So I'm curious if I'll be able to take that skin onto my PlayStation now that
Yeah,
it's
you will.
all-
Yeah,
So
you definitely will.
that-
Because it's coming out in November, and all you do is you sign into your primary account, and you say, okay, this is my primary account, and then you just link up the other one, and it takes everything from that secondary and just puts it into the other one.
I like that.
Luckily, I don't really have much on the Switch version. I have a little bit more on the PlayStation version, only because the Twitch Prime loot and stuff that I've gotten before. So that's all I have. But it's still nice to be able to keep my PlayStation Network name now and use it, because
Right.
I like the real Darth guy as my social accounts and all of that, but I still like being the Darth Toxicated because my whole family kind of does that family name thing together. So
Right. Another thing with the cross-play, when do we start getting to play like Madden against somebody with an Xbox? Or
that would be amazing.
that needs to.
That would be
That's
amazing.
coming.
That would
That's-
be amazing.
that's
'Cause,
coming.
You know, I got a friend that lives out in California, and he's an Xbox player, and I tried so hard to convince him to switch over to PlayStation. Like, I got you to switch,
Yep.
but I couldn't get him to switch over. So it'll be really cool the day that we get to see where he can buy Call of Duty or whatever on his Xbox, I can buy it on the PlayStation, and we just can play together.
Yeah,
That'll be great.
That needs to happen. That should have been done.
I mean, that should have just been standard, because it's not like you have to buy a Dell computer to play with your friends. You can get any computer you fucking want and just play together. And,
Yep.
and that's how games should have always been. I mean, let's just be honest.
Yep.
But they want to lock you behind that damn paywall of PlayStation Live or PlayStation Network or whatever. The walls are coming down. They're coming down, and it's going to be fabulous. Moving forward, that's enough Fortnite. I
Fortnite.
think I'm sick already. No.
Fortnite's not bad.
Fortnite's
It's
not a bad game. It's just not my cup of tea. that's
Yeah,
all.
it's. I'm not great, so
No,
I don't.
That's probably has a little bit to do with it that I'm terrible at the game, so I probably don't love it just because of that.
Right.
So I'll probably play it a little bit more as time progresses. But with Call of Duty coming out though, that Blackout, that's gonna be my thing.
I watched you play that. That looked
It's
like
fun.
a lot of fun.
We pre-ordered it, so we
I
will
don't
have it.
I don't buy Call of Duty games. My son gets them. I don't buy them.
I didn't have to buy this one because my son pre-ordered it, and I just get to benefit because I'm like, you get to benefit from all the games I buy, so I finally get to benefit from your
Right.
one you're buying. This is
And
great.
that's one mode I will probably. That's probably the only mode I'll play because I
Right.
can't stand the running around just shooting.
Right. I mean, it
and
is.
respawning. And,
It's interesting because it is a completely different take, and I mean, Fortnite does. That's a good game mode. It's a fabulous game mode. So it'll be nice to play
and it
a
will
real
be in
shooter.
every single game from now on that does
Yeah.
online play. You're gonna have
yeah.
the battle royale mode
Forever.
forever,
Which is fine because it's a good game mode, like I said.
unless PUBG got their way. But
Right. They're trying to sue everyone, and everyone's like, nope, you're done. Get out of here. Again, let's move on from Fortnite. Twitch. We love Twitch. We absolutely love it. I personally love Twitch. I've been on streaming a lot this
you
week,
stream
and I watch a lot of talk shows. I watch talk shows to try to improve our product. And there's some great ones out there. But interestingly enough, in China, the government's like,
Nope.
you can't watch Twitch anymore. Ha ha, suckers. You live in China, and we can control everything.
it's garbage.
That's so weird.
It's
like
garbage.
Bringing it back to our conversation on censorship in episode 2. This is the problem that I don't want to see. I don't want to see the government get involved to the point where they are literally taking things away from us. That really, why take that away from the people? I don't understand.
Reason, other than they want control. That's the only reason there is. It exposes their people to what it's like outside of their
Right.
country.
Stay within here. Stay within
Yep.
here. I mean, China. They probably want to create their own service and like run the world that way because they sell everything to us anyway. So they're
Yeah.
like, we can make a better Twitch. We'll block it so that the Chinese people think ours is better.
Yep.
But that's weird. I don't like that idea that a government can be like, hey, guess what? No more of this. It doesn't matter what it is. No more of X. No more of Y. You can't do it because it's now blocked or illegal. You know. That's just
Unfortunately,
crazy.
it's like that in a lot of countries.
I know.
All like North Korea is crazy bad. Like they've got fake storefronts just to
That's so weird.
show the rest of the world, yeah, we're doing this, but
That's so weird.
it's not real. It's
I mean, we don't live there for a reason. Well, we were born here, so I guess that's the bigger reason. But still, it's like one of those where you're if you want to go travel the world and you want to move to another country, you're like, don't pick that one. Can't
Right.
watch Twitch. Can't watch those dad geeks.
You're right.
You know?
Right.
But it's just I hate censorship, and that is the king of all censorship, is just being like,
The government say no.
right. I mean, I like censorship when it comes to my kids. I'll block the shit out of those things, but
They need that. They need that, but adults don't need.
adults
to be
shouldn't
censored.
be censored like that. Or yeah. Next up, Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm very excited about this game. The only thing we have to cover in this game, obviously, than the fact that it's coming out really soon, and it's going to be probably one of the greatest stories to ever be written on a video game ever, is that it's 105
105
gigabytes.
gigabytes. It's going to take up a ton of room.
That's insane.
Luckily, PlayStation has made it so you can put
Put new hard drives or external hard drives or
yeah.
whatever. But if you have a launch PS4,
Oh,
that launch PS4 was
you're-
500 gigabytes.
Yeah.
And you don't even get all that 500 gigabytes when you buy a system. It's like you get 400 and change because of all the system stuff that's on there. So that's like a quarter of their hard drive space.
Right.
That's
It
probably
just-
a little.
to
It's
one
like
game.
a fifth, but still, that's a lot.
It's
That's
a-
a lot. Can you imagine only being able to have 5 games? That's it. That's all you got.
I had the launch PS4 for a long ass time,
It's still sitting right there. Yeah,
and
I have the. Whatever.
I got to the point where I'm deleting stuff to add new stuff all the time. I'm like, I don't really want to delete this game,
Right.
but
Luckily, external hard drives are cheaper now.
Yeah, they're
I mean,
cheaper
you can
now.
get a 2 terabyte for like $120 or something.
Yeah.
Probably even cheaper.
Which-
Honestly,
this game might make me go get.
I'll keep an eye out for those Amazon deals because
Right.
they're coming. You know, the Cyber Monday and stuff is on its way. So
Because that's going to be a game that I'm going to want to keep on there.
yeah,
Like, I've still got Grand Theft Auto 5.
I just recently deleted it because I was sick of looking at it on the screen. I'm like, I never touch this thing anymore.
I get on it every once in a while, but none of my friends play, so
Right. Well, speaking of Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption, actually, Red Dead Redemption Online is said to be very similar to what Grand Theft Auto Online is.
I'd like to know how that's going to go because people like automatic weapons,
They do.
and
They do.
you don't really have automatic
Yeah, you
weapons.
got the 6-shooter, and then you got the lever-action rifle that you...
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think you're running around and shooting a whole bunch of people like they do in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, it's going to be a very
There's
different
no-
online experience. And there's
no
cars.
rocket, no cars,
no
no
planes.
rocket launchers.
Like,
There's.
it's
I
going
don't
to
know
be...
how people are going to take online mode for it. I don't think it's going to take off as well as Grand Theft Auto 5 Online did.
I might actually love it because one of the worst things that ever happened to Grand Theft Auto Online was the heat-seeking rocket launcher. That was terrible because now every single you're in a helicopter and you just get shot down.
You would hate online now because everything's heat seeking. You got flying cars that have heat seeking rockets.
Oh, that's irritating. Yeah, that would be annoying because I always like to fly the helicopters around, and then once the heat-seeking rockets came out, I was like, oh well, this sucks. You get up in the air.
Yeah, you can't do anything if you're by yourself on GTA.
It's just a shit show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't played that in forever.
I still enjoy the missions. I wish they would add some true missions to the game instead of all these little different game modes. But
Right. Well, I guess they did the heists. And
the heists are pretty good.
They just take a long time. I mean, they're not quite as long as like a Destiny raid situation, but
Right.
they do take a while.
Right.
They are fun though. It's just weird because it
not
almost
what I
seems like
thought it was going to be.
go get this car, drive it to this spot. Okay, the next version is go get this other car and drive it to this spot. You know, it's less interesting than I thought it was going to be.
I thought you could have different. I thought it was going to be, you get your crew together and then whenever they get their shit done,
Right.
you can go do it. But no, you got to sit there and everybody you got to.
Yeah, everyone kind of has to
Do
be
it at the
together
same
at the same
time, yeah.
time. Yeah, it's a lot more. It's a lot more difficult to coordinate just because of that fact. So
Yeah, so I'm really curious on how Red Dead's going to do their online. I think it's going to be interesting. People weren't into the World War II games,
no,
and those even have automatic weapons. So
yeah, I guess we will see. And I don't think there's been an official announcement, but there's going to be Battle Royale, I'm sure, in there. But like we talked about Grand Theft Auto, like it's one step away. You just add more people and turn off respawns. That's it.
Right.
You're there
pretty much.
already. So, and then you got to shrink the map.
Shrink
in
the
some
map.
kind of way. I don't know.
Which
whatever.
they've done stuff like that where the map shrinks.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they've got modes.
No,
so-
I haven't played in so long. So, next up it's the end of the month, so that inevitably means that we get the October news for the free games for A, Xbox Game Pass, and B, PlayStation Plus. So we'll cover Xbox Game Pass first because I don't have an Xbox.
I don't have an Xbox either,
but obviously there's many people out there.
we don't
that
want to
do.
keep everybody out. We want
Right.
to we don't want to cater to just PlayStation players.
Right.
We want to.
Well, we want to, but we can't. Okay, so there's 4 games. The first one,
Overcooked.
Overcooked, is interesting.
I've never played Overcooked. I never watched anybody play Overcooked. I didn't know. Why is a cooking game popular? But I
This
watched
coming from the guy who played Diner Dash on his phone.
on my phone.
Yeah. Maybe
Phone
over,
games
I don't know.
aren't the same as.
Well, we did go over this where we say the games that we play on Switch are completely different than the games we play on our PlayStation.
Right.
Because just mentally, it's different.
Yeah.
It feels like it should be different. So there's a lot of games that I will play on Switch that I just don't even
Care about on PlayStation.
Wouldn't even ever try on the PlayStation.
I know we're kind of
We're
wandering
journeying around,
turning
but
off,
that's okay.
but PlayStation's turned into my AAA gaming system.
I mean, they do a very good job at making those. So yeah.
My Switch has turned into my indie game system.
Oh, I mean, they do release like 70 indie games a week on
Right.
that damn system.
And all of them look good. Like I went through and started putting a wish list together of all the games I want to try, and they all look good. Like
It's kind of frustrating because I don't want them all to look good because I don't want to buy all these games. Like
the nice
so
thing is,
many.
there's a lot of games on the Switch that are under
They're like
$20,
even under $1, like
49 cents. You can get a
ridiculous.
It may not be
absolutely-
great, but you've got something. For
Yeah,
it.
but for 49 cents, if you get like an hour's worth of entertainment, you're like, well, that was cool.
Yeah.
Whatever. The next one is Victor Vran. That's on Xbox One. Oh, by the way, Overcooked is on Xbox One. Victor Vran is on Xbox One as well, and it's kind of I didn't know anything about it, but we looked it up on YouTube, and it's kind of like a almost a Diablo kind of dungeon crawler, but more like a mind blank all of a sudden. What was that? It was an old arcade game, Gauntlet Legends.
Oh yeah, it looks like it's like that.
It reminds me of Gauntlet
Definitely.
Legends when I watch.
Yeah.
So it's just like a dungeon crawler where you kind of go around and
I'm not a
things
fan
up.
of the art style of it, but
yeah. Me either.
it looks like it could be fun though.
But that's free, so I mean, if it's free,
Free,
try it out if
try
you're
it
on
out.
Xbox One. You know, the next one.
Xbox One and Xbox 360, you're getting Stuntman Ignition, which is an older game. But I played the first Stuntman, and basically you're cutting action movie scenes.
That sounds like it could be
So
fun.
it looks fun. I've it's been a long time since I played it, but it was
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't even know when it came out, but it is like an Xbox One game through and through.
Xbox 360 is when it
Did
came out, and PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 3.
Oh, for
Xbox.
some reason I was thinking about Xbox One as in the number one, not the one as in
Right.
the new one, because
I
that
don't
confusing
think
shit.
I don't think it's that old.
That confusing shit where it was Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One. The next one's probably going to be like Xbox Zynga. I don't know what the fuck it's going to be. Who knows? It's just some random name to extend it. Like, you can't be the Xbox 2, although this shouldn't be the Xbox One anyways.
Did you see the scene The Big Bang Theory where Sheldon's going through and he's talking about Xbox going Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox One S, and then he's like, it shouldn't be that way. It should be PlayStation's the best. It's PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation
Yeah, it's just the numbers keep increasing. Xbox is like, I don't know, we're just gonna put random numbers on the end of it for no reason. Because now, like I was just talking about the first Xbox, and I said Xbox One, and I'm like, wait, no, not the one, the number one.
Xbox OG.
Right, OG Xbox, the cinder block we'll call
Well, that's
it.
also like iPhone. iPhone went from the 8 to the X.
Well, it's actually
then-
not X, it's 10, and
It's
the reason
10.
is because it was the 10th year it has been out. But yeah, they do the 7, 7S, 8, 8S, and then 10
And
all
Madden did
together.
something similar also. They did.
Well, remember we had the Madden 25,
Madden 25, but that was just 25 years of Madden.
and then the next one was Madden 19. You're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Or it might have been
Madden,
18. Was
Madden-
25 17 or 18?
I don't know. That's been a couple.
It's been a while. That used to be our game.
That was our game. I can't remember. We'll have to look that up.
Yeah, we will. Okay. Next
Moving
one.
on.
Yeah.
Hitman Blood Money on Xbox One and Xbox 360. The Hitman games are great games.
I love the Hitman games, but the new Hitman games are so much better than the old Hitman
I've got to
games.
play it. You're making me
It's
have
so
to
much
at least
better.
sit down and try it once.
You
I like
can-
the older ones a lot. but-
On PlayStation, you can get the first like couple episodes for free, or not a couple episodes, but like the training missions where you're still doing the Hitman stuff, but you can play it for free.
I'll have to try it out.
Yeah, it's a great game.
They did the season thing.
Yeah.
And I wasn't a fan of the season thing.
I bought the Game of
Oh,
the
man.
Year edition, so I just got all of them in one swoop because it went on sale for like $20 or something like that at some point. It might have been 30. I think it was $29, and that was during a time when I was just buying a bunch of games.
But this was the Blood Money was an original 360 game. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure.
yeah,
All the Hitman games are usually pretty good.
yeah, they have a little bit of jank in the old ones though, because like there will be times where like the movement just doesn't
work.
well. Yeah, but they're still great because they make you think. They're not
It's
they're not
a-
your typical.
It's not to me. It's not an action game. It's a puzzle,
I would
almost
give
a
it
puzzle strategy type game.
Yeah, because there's also multiple ways to kill each target, and you can choose which way you do it. So it's cool. It's very cool.
Yeah.
And then there's trophies to like do it in all different ways. So the replayability is also really high.
And I'm not talking a traditional puzzle game. It's not a traditional
No,
puzzle
you're
game.
just
I'm just
talking-
like you got to figure out how to get through to
Right.
where you're.
Your path isn't walk to the end, kill the guy, and walk out.
Yeah,
Like,
you've got to take a zigzag way to
Right.
finish the.
chess game, if you will, a
Yeah.
little bit. So that's all you get for October's games with gold, those 4. So just to recap, Overcooked, Victor Vran, Stuntman, Ignition, and Hitman Blood Money for October. And then PlayStation Plus.
PlayStation Plus is really pissing me off the last 3 months.
Why is that?
The last 3 months, they did God of War 3, which I purchased. Dead by Daylight, which I purchased. And this month,
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. We'll get to it at the end.
Yeah.
But
we'll let the frustration stew a little bit.
Right, which I purchased. So I've gotten...
One of these days you'll start getting free games again. Maybe.
Right.
Actually, maybe not. Who knows? Just let me know your whole games library and I'll be like, oh, that's the PlayStation lineup for the next 6 months. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
This first one was very interesting. It's Laser League. I had never seen the game before. And
Neither have I.
The only way I can compare it is I call it a Tron-ish sports game.
Yeah.
Because you're running around this field, which is, just a rectangle field like every single sport on the planet's played on. And you set down these laser fields that are like laser walls that move around and they spin or they travel across or whatever. And basically there's a yellow team and a blue team. And the blue teams can't run into the yellow team's laser fields, and vice versa, of course. And then each player has their own ability of some sort to be able to
There's a guy
also
with
eliminate.
that can cut you with a sword. There's a guy with a shield that can bash you
into
around
walls and stuff like that. And it looks really cool.
I can't remember what the other one. It looks like a fun game. I'm definitely going to try it out.
Well, since it's free, there's no reason not to. So.
Right.
But it definitely... It reminds me of good party games because it's not a real long match, it seems. So, the controller switching, if you have a lot of people, could be very quick.
Right.
It's not like a Rocket League. Like, Rocket League matches take 15 minutes.
Right. This looks like 4 or 5 minutes.
4 or 5 minutes, and then you switch teams. And
Yeah.
you could run a whole tournament in a night easily.
Yeah.
So, that looks cool. I will definitely try it. The
Then
next one.
2064 Read-Only Memories. I don't know anything about it, but it looks interesting. It's a point and click.
It looks like it should be like an old Mac 1 or an old Mac Lisa, or no, well, it wasn't Mac, Apple Lisa back in the day, where it's just the worst puzzle game.
The graphics are definitely maybe Commodore 64-ish.
Yeah, yeah.
And you go through and
what did I compare it to? I compared it to just. It's like a point-and-click investigation game. Yeah. So, let's say you're in a bedroom and there's a dresser over here. You click on the dresser, investigate what's in there, and then something pops out or something doesn't, and you just try to kind of.
It looks for free. I'll try. I try everything out.
If that was on the Switch, I would try it.
Yeah.
But it's on the PlayStation. Never gonna be on my PlayStation.
I'll download it once, play it, see if I like it, and then
you'll play for 5 minutes and delete it.
Yeah. I still download every single free game.
Right. Well, it's free, so why not? Next, Rocket Birds
2 Evolution.
Right. Okay.
It looks fun. It's a platform kind. You're not jumping from platform.
They call it a platformer.
But
I called it a Contra-like shooter.
Yeah, Contra-like. Yeah, it looks fun. I've never heard of Rocket Birds.
I was surprised when we pulled up this video. I go, the graphics are unnecessarily good.
They're really good.
Surprising.
Yeah, it looks fun. It's a shooter.
Yeah, it's just a time waster. It's a toilet game.
Yeah. Yeah. That you won't play in the toilet, but
probably not. No, you're gonna play
you're on
something
your PlayStation.
Right. Oh, well, it does come out for PlayStation Vita.
I lost my Vita.
I sold mine a long time ago.
So
Then
we got The Bridge, which looks when it first started, we were like,
I was like, hell no.
If you're drunk, you're going to get sick playing this game because the whole background's moving or even the foreground's moving.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's a puzzle game where you have to get from one door to another door, but the way you get there, you turn the map.
Yeah, the whole map rotates around while you're walking and flips and does all. What's that thing? That infinite stair picture.
Yeah,
that's what instantly popped in my head was that.
Yeah, the art, it's black and white.
It looks like it's kind of like pencil drawn almost, but
I didn't
a
see
little
any
bit polished.
I didn't see any color in the game.
No.
It was all black and white.
Yeah.
It looks interesting. Yeah, I'll like I said, I download everything. So
I will probably
I'll play it.
at least give that one a run through
Yep.
to check it out.
And then we've got Master Reboot.
Which we didn't mark anything down in the show notes for this one because inevitably we always have to miss something in the show notes. But
I remember it enough to know that
was-
I'm not going to get it.
right, and the video that we watched compared it to that show Reboot, right?
Yeah.
But it has nothing
Nothing.
nothing to do with it because you were like, oh, I remember that show, and he goes, and it has nothing to do with that, and you're like,
I'm
oh,
like, oh.
well, that didn't help.
It doesn't look entertaining at all.
No, it's like you're just walking around, like you weren't fighting, you weren't doing anything. The graphics look terrible.
It's a bunch of straight edges and
Yeah, it's like Nintendo 64 when they first tried 3D.
I
kind of games.
didn't.
But even
like it.
Ocarina of Time was still way better than that game. looked.
Right. I don't even know what to compare it to. I didn't like it. Luckily, it's only on PlayStation 3.
Yeah, to top it all off, it's only on PS3. And
So
like,
I don't have to worry. My daughter might like it.
Yeah, but hey, whatever. And then your favorite,
Friday
Friday the 13th.
which I already own. I've talked about Dead by Daylight before. This is a lot like Dead by Daylight.
The only difference is it's Jason only, right?
It's Jason only, but there's different Jasons from the different movies.
Okay.
So you can even video game NES Jason.
Oh, okay.
So what they do is they took the original Jason and then made him purple.
Oh, okay.
And then when you're close by, starts playing the NES music.
Oh, that's funny.
So
That's
it's kind of
funny.
cool.
See, that would freak me out because that game, when he's close, it plays the Jason like or
Yeah.
whatever. Like that would freak me out. Imagine being in your basement all by yourself and like your mind would mess with you and be like, "What the fuck was that?"
I like this game. It's really buggy at times.
Well, they had to stop development on it completely.
Yeah.
The story is that the rights holder for the Friday the 13th films decided that he wanted to go after this game, so all development had to just completely cease. They can do things like bug fixes, but they can't do anything else. So,
Nothing yet.
But what is going to end up happening is they're probably going to go the way of Telltale, and they're going to probably close down because you can't just have a bunch of developers sitting there like hoping that the lawsuit goes away. They have to make games and get
Right.
money for the studio. So
Or they can win the lawsuit.
Yeah, but
we'll see what happens.
it's been a while now. So.
It's been a while.
But this is
there
why
was some
it's
news
free because
and
they're
I
like, at
forgot
least
all
let
about
people
it.
play it because we can't sell it anymore. So they're like, let
They
people
did an
play.
update on it.
Yeah.
Just a couple days ago.
Yeah, okay. Well, at
So,
least there's someone.
I haven't turned it on to see what the update did.
Well, yeah, because your go-to is Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, Dead by Daylight all the time. Friday the 13th is not bad. It's a great game,
Yeah.
but it's just I like Dead by Daylight better.
Well, Friday the 13th also took the PUBG angle where they did like a beta for fucking ever,
Yeah,
and then they released a real version, right?
yeah.
Which PUBG still hasn't even really done, but whatever.
But the Friday the 13th, the maps are enormous.
Are they?
They're
well,
huge.
because Dead by Daylight they're not very.
They're
big.
not big. Dead by Daylight's
I mean,
miniature compared to.
You can sprint, or you can actually sneak across the whole damn thing in like 5 minutes. And
Yeah.
that's you're sneaking super slow, so it's not like you're just walking around being quiet. No, you're like barely moving, and you can get across that whole thing. So.
Yeah. Jason's got, depending on which Jason you pick, each one has different powers.
Okay, so it's almost like Dead by Daylight was just like, well, we can't use Jason, so we'll just use all the other everything else.
Yeah.
And they made some of their own too.
Yeah, they did really. Dead by Daylight has their own characters, and then they also have some licensed characters.
Right. Well, isn't Leatherface in there?
Leatherface is in there. Michael Myers is in there. Freddy Krueger's in there. So,
Right.
but they've got their own character. They've got the Trapper, which is basically Jason-esque.
Right.
He uses bear traps to catch people and wears not a hockey mask, but it's a mask that's similar to a hockey
Right.
mask.
You know that the inspiration is
Yeah, he's
Jason
definitely-
without even.
Yeah,
questioning.
definitely inspired by Jason.
Okay.
But the counselors in Friday the 13th all have different strengths and weaknesses, so you have to go through and actually look at each.
It's a
each
fucking
one.
clone. Like they're the same game. It sounds like.
It's a lot of like there's different ways to escape Jason in Friday the 13th, where in Dead by Daylight there's one way to get away.
You start the generators or go through the little like hatch thing, right?
Yeah.
After a certain amount of time.
If you're the last one alive and you've started enough generators, the hatch will open.
Right. And that's how I escaped in my game.
Yeah.
Right.
Where in Friday the 13th you can fix a car
And drive away.
Drive away. You can call the police and then run to the police and they help you.
Oh, okay.
Or you can kill Jason.
Right.
Which is
He's already fucking dead.
I've not done
How do you kill a dead person?
I don't know. I've not done it, but
that seems like it would be the hard option.
That is the hard option.
Like the whole team has to gang up on this asshole.
You have to have everything's got to line up perfectly. Like you have to have a female counselor. You have to have somebody die and come back as I forget Tommy Jarvis. And he's got to shoot him.
Okay.
You got to knock his mask off.
Okay.
There's all kinds of things you got to do.
I bet you get shit tons of XP for that style of win. Though.
I've not done it, so I don't even know. You've really got to work together with.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's almost got to be planned. Like we are going to kill Jason, and this is how we're going to do it.
Yeah. Now there's a lot of people that get together, and their whole goal is to kill Jason. And
so they understand, and when they're building their team, they design the team around that, and people fill in the gaps. See, that's cool when you can get online and randomly the team all gets together.
It sucks when you're Jason though, because
you're like. I know they're not trying to go away from me now. I know they're trying to get me.
They're trying to kill me, and now it totally makes it harder for you to kill them because you don't want to get killed yourself. So you're trying to...
The killer becomes the killee.
Yeah.
So is that killee a thing? I don't think a killee's a thing. That sounds wrong. I don't know. Let me know in the chat.
The hunter becomes the hunted.
That sounds much better than the killer becomes the killee. What the hell?
But I enjoy Friday the 13th. It's a great game. Get it for free.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
I'll try it, but I have this strange suspicion that I'm going to like Dead by Daylight better.
I don't know. I thought at first I liked Friday the 13th better. And then I started playing Dead by Daylight more, and I'm like...
Although I do like Jason as a character. I mean, I watched every single Friday the 13th. Me and my buddy would have a sleepover, and we would watch the Jason films.
Yeah, I love the Friday the 13th movies. I couldn't wait for this game when I heard about it. And then I didn't know what Dead by Daylight was, but I had my brothers tell me, get Dead by Daylight.
Okay. Yeah, you tried to convince me to get it, and I almost did, and then it became free.
Yep.
And you tried to get me to get this one, too, and look. See, anytime you wanted me to get a game, I'm going to wait, because it's coming out on PlayStation Plus.
Yep.
So, moving out of the... real quick recap. PlayStation Plus games for October are Laser League, 2064 Read-Only Memories, Rocket Birds 2 Evolution, The Bridge, Master Reboot, and Friday the 13th. And every single time... Oh, go ahead.
Master Reboot is the only one not on PlayStation 4.
Everything else is on PlayStation 4. Some of them are on Vita, but if you have a Vita, good on you. But they typically come out the second Tuesday of the month, so probably not this Tuesday, probably the following Tuesday, and then it'll run until the second Tuesday of the following month, so grab them when you can. And by the way, you can also, if you don't want to download them, you can just buy them in the store, and they're added to your library. You don't have to download them until later. So
yeah, as long as you have PlayStation Plus, you can go back and download it.
Right, hot tip there.
And I'm pretty sure Gold does the same thing.
I would assume so, yeah. So you can go pick it up on the website and don't have to download it and delete it and all that crazy crap. The last thing of actual gaming news that we have to cover is an amazing thing, because we did talk about the amazing thing that Ubisoft did for the Telltale employees last week. This is another amazing thing that a big company did for someone. Unfortunately, there was a child that had cancer, and he decided that he was no longer going to do chemo treatment. So, interestingly enough, he was like, the only thing that I want to do before I go is I want to play the new Super Smash Brothers. But obviously, the amount of time that he was around, he wasn't able to purchase Smash Brothers. So, do you know what Nintendo did?
Nintendo let him play the game.
Nintendo brought a copy of the E3 build to him so he could play it.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. I like it when big companies do good things. It's fabulous. It's amazing. Because they don't have to. There's no reason for them to do it, realistically. But the fact that they do is just fabulous. It's amazing. So he got to play it.
He got to play it. Unfortunately, he passed away earlier this week.
I think it was in the beginning of this week, and And his brother had a statement saying, he's just absolutely thankful that Nintendo did that for him so that he could kind of pass with one last great memory, because not many people get those kind of opportunities.
Right.
So that's really awesome for him, and that's it's an unfortunate thing, but that does happen in the world. But he did get to play it, and Nintendo did kind of come. What am I looking for? Just step up to the plate is what I'm looking for.
Yep.
And hooked him up. That's really cool.
Yep. These bigger companies actually giving me faith in humanity.
I know, right? And then you look online and everything on
Everything
news
else
is about Fortnite. Yeah. Okay, so I'm a soccer coach. You're a football coach, right?
Yep.
I'm sitting there at soccer, and guess what the celebrations are for almost everything?
Oh my God.
Fucking Fortnite
It's
dances
Fortnite
all over the
dances.
place. It drives me insane.
We've banned Fortnite dances.
I make
on
kids
the
run if they
practice-
start doing Fortnite dances.
on the practice field. We tell them, if you start
You're
doing a Fortnite dance, you're running.
yeah. It's
I don't if they score which unfortunately my team can't score touchdowns to save their life sometimes, but if they did it as a touchdown celebration, I think it would be hilarious.
That's different. But they're just doing it on like the sideline when they're like sitting out and waiting to go back in, and you're like,
Right.
stop! What are you doing?
Yeah.
Watch the game.
Yeah.
It's football time, not Fortnite time. Good grief. Anyway, moving out of there. Now we have some gaming conversation. This is kind of different than what we did last time because, conveniently enough, we didn't have a lot of stupid news in gaming. Last week we covered the damn dad who got his daughter to crawl in a freaking game machine to steal stuff for him. We got a 45-year-old dude who decides to threaten an 11-year-old because he lost into him in Fortnite.
That still pisses me
I
off.
listened to that episode this morning and I was like, oh my god, this is so irritating. But anyway, we wanted to do gaming conversation, and in this segment we have two questions. First one, what kind of video games we would like to see. So, what kind of video game would you like to see? It doesn't have to be a new one. You're not creating a new genre. But what do you want to see that maybe is kind of lacking in the current selection of games, or
I want to see. It's not really a genre game. I want to see a really good. There's a couple of them. I want to see a really good Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, and I want to see a really good Transformers game.
Okay.
Those
I can get with you on the Ninja Turtles, and all of a sudden, right in my head, I started picturing a open world-esque game, because everything in my mind right now is thinking about Spider-Man, because I just finished it on Friday, and I love the way that game was put together. I can't even imagine if all of a sudden you got a Ninja Turtles game where you could like actively switch between the four of them whenever you wanted.
Or online, and
you could go 4 players together.
4-player online,
Oh
and you
man,
play
that
as
would
the
be
turtles.
amazing. That would be amazing.
And there's different, like you got to go find all the Baxter Stockman things, and
Oh
then
man,
put it together.
the
And once
Foot
you
Clan's
find-
just running around the city, and you're
Yeah.
solving Foot Clan crimes. Oh man,
could
that
be
would
amazing.
be so awesome.
Could be-
I hope they would do
What developer would you want to make that?
Honestly,
I think Rocksteady would be the best.
Rocksteady would
Insomniac
do good.
games, though, with Spider-Man, though.
They fucking killed it with Spider-Man.
But I
But
think,
Rocksteady and Insomniac kind of have the same thing, because Rocksteady is Batman,
yeah.
and then Insomniac is Spider-Man, or Insomniac.
I think Rocksteady, Spider-Man looks great. It's during the daylight, you got the shadows and the sunlight and everything, and it looks great.
Yeah.
Where
I think
Rocksteady's a darker game, and
then that's
Turtles
why I
and-
think they would be better, because
Yeah.
they would create a darker environment, kind of like the dirty styled New York that the Turtles would be perfect in.
Yep.
But Insomniac makes more of a like lighthearted fun, because it's Spider-Man, the
Yeah.
fun superhero game. So I think I agree. Rocksteady would
And
be
then like,
prime candidate.
could you imagine like the Technodrome rising up out of
Oh,
like,
man.
Central Park or something?
You get a van and you have the like pizza shooter on top from
Oh
the old
my
toys
God.
and stuff.
It would be so awesome. Not. Nickelodeon needs to let go of Turtles.
Yes, they do, because
They are ruining.
well, the Ninja Turtles, our kids don't care about the Ninja Turtles.
No.
We do, and we're grown-ups now. So what they need to do is get it away from that, so that we can progress the Turtles into a new realm.
Yep.
It's just, it's kind of like, I guess it's hard to say Batman, because Batman was kind of dark all of the time, but like the newer films are much darker
Oh yeah.
than the previous films were, and we like that because we grew up with Batman, and we want to see that. So it's becoming more mature.
Right.
And I mean, think about this: Deadpool, rated R, and how
The very first
Awesome that
superhero
is.
movie if you want to call Deadpool a superhero.
Right. It's so yeah. Right. He's
For-
like that weird one.
First ever comic book, not the first rated R comic book movie, but superhero movie.
Right. And it's fabulous. It's amazing. I
Great.
love it.
Yeah,
I absolutely love it.
The humor in that is spot on.
Yep.
It's great.
Yeah.
But a dark Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video game, open world, would be awesome. And then I'd also like them, when they make that game, put another mode where you could play the Turtles beat 'em up.
Oh, like the
games,
classic, like number 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, God, number 2 was the best one.
That would be so easy to throw that ROM.
And can you imagine? Well, imagine this. What if they did like an Excitebike 64 thing, where you could play it, but it's the new updated graphics, and then you could switch instantly to the old
That
school
would be
stuff.
sweet.
That would be so awesome.
That'd be really cool.
Okay. Any other ones you would like to see come up?
You didn't like the Transformers one.
I
think that would be fun if the right people did it. They did have you played the one that looks like the cartoon?
No.
That's fun.
Is it?
It's fun.
See, Transformers to me are kind of like if you were to make a Superman or an Iron Man game. They're like too powerful.
Well, they're fighting other Transformers.
Yeah, I guess.
So...
But then you just like it's like you like if you had a Micro Machines like or a Hot Wheels set up in your room, you're just like, oh, I'm fucking a monster, you know? Like
yeah,
it's just they're so big. Like the world would have to be insane. I can't even
they
imagine.
do a good
how
job.
Big.
I can't think of it's on PlayStation 4.
Okay. I
Transformers Devastation, I think, is what it's called.
Oh, I think I've heard of that.
And it's drawn like the cartoons. It's the cartoon version instead of the
like
movie.
the realistic version,
Yeah.
if you will.
So it
Okay.
makes it so it doesn't have to be as believable as like a.
That does help because sometimes the graphic and the art style totally change the way that you think about the game. Because if something's more cartoony, you're a little bit more willing to suspend belief in a way because it looks cartoony. But if it's supposed to be realistic, you're like, I don't know about that. It's too inaccurate for realistic times.
Yeah.
But of course, I like Spider-Man, so whatever.
What about you?
Me, I miss old school stealth. Things like the Mission Impossible game on Nintendo 64, the Siphon Filter, the Metal Gear obviously is still around, but they don't do stealth the same way they used to. Assassin's Creed, for instance, now is an adventure game. It's not even a stealth game.
Right.
You can do stealth, but like the big boss fights, you can't just like sneak up and kill them anymore like you used to be able to. Now it's like this big epic god fight, and it's another big giant action game.
I've not played the new one, so
I miss stealth so
Yeah.
much. I miss being Splinter Cell.
I was just gonna say
Splinter Cell
would be an amazing game.
They need to bring that shit back. Come on,
Sam
let's go.
Fisher.
Man, I miss classic stealth. Like I miss the games where you would fail if you didn't do it quietly.
Right. Well, like climbing up the walls,
Yeah.
like on Splinter Cell, and like hiding, and then throwing on your
night
vision goggles, and
That
like
game is
that
so
was,
good.
Both those games were amazing games.
I
I played 2 of them.
Yeah.
Splinter Cell and Splinter Cell 2.
Which
one had the 2-player?
I want to say that was Blackout or something. Or
I
Black
played
something?
like 5 minutes of that.
It was
I
good.
didn't have a chance to really get into it.
It was good. I want that back because I like the style of gameplay in a stealth game is slower, so you don't have to like sprint through everything. Like Spider-Man's amazing because of it's Spider-Man and you're just swinging through and you're doing crazy stuff. But I just miss the
Slow it down.
a little bit. Think about your actions. That's why I like Hitman so much.
Yeah.
Because that's really the only stealth game that we have right now that's legitimately supposed to be only stealth.
Yeah.
Everything else is like, well, you could be quiet, or you could just go balls to the wall and you're fine either way.
Right.
You know, like I just want that old school stealth back.
So there's some games like I try to play Watch Dogs 2.
Yep.
I try to play that as stealthily as I can. Now every once in a while I
Most
mess
of the
up
time,
and just pull your gun out and start
just
shooting.
shoot everyone, shoot everything.
Yep.
And that's how games are nowadays. Like if you mess up stealth, it's not like you're penalized and it's like exponentially harder. You're just like, oh well, I'll just bring a gun and shoot everyone in the face, and now we're good.
Yep.
You know, and I wish games were harder. I played Spider-Man on the hardest difficulty,
And it
I
was still kind of
didn't really die that often. I mean, like,
right.
it was easy.
The fighting is so super easy,
I
and they
think
give
that-
you too many hints.
I think
still.
the reason that the game, I understood the swinging system and like flying around and stuff, but I think if like I watched my son play and he stays on the ground a lot and he gets his ass whooped, and I'm like, get up in the air, like
Yeah.
be Spider-Man, fly all around these people, don't stand in the
Well,
middle of
they're
the
even
group.
some of the character or some of the NPCs are even yelling, "Don't let him get up in the air."
Right, they're giving you the hint like go up in the air. They're
Like
telling
you jump up there and don't let him get up there.
right, and then you're
So-
just annihilating everyone while in the air.
Yeah.
So it's I found the game too easy personally.
It was-
Hopefully they
it
give
was
like
a really-
an ultra hard.
It was a really easy. There is going to be a
New Game Plus, I know.
New
is
Game
coming,
Plus.
but I don't remember if they said anything about another difficulty because I would like another difficulty,
Right.
especially if you're playing New Game Plus. You kind of need like an ultra hard difficulty because you have all of your stuff. In New Game Plus, you continue on with all of the stuff that you've unlocked in the previous game, so you have everything. And without an ultra hard mode, like the beginning, like every one of the Fisk guys, you're gonna punch them once and they're gonna fly across the world.
Yeah.
like they're so easy in the beginning.
New Game
of the
Plus
game.
is going to be super easy at the beginning because
Yeah.
you're going to know how to play.
right.
You're going to
You're gonna have all of the extra abilities
Yeah.
to play better. So guns aren't gonna be a problem anymore because that was the biggest thing in the very beginning. You're like, oh man, they shoot me twice and I'm done.
Yeah.
So it was difficult that way. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's a game I will play again. I will play through that.
I'll
again.
play the New Game Plus when it
Well,
when it
you
comes
got to
up.
beat it first.
I got to beat it first, but I'm so close to
Are you
the
pretty?
end. That,
Are you pretty close?
Yeah, I'm pretty close to the end.
Are you on the big boss fights yet?
I am. I just got done beating Shocker,
Okay.
so
Cool. Yeah.
I'm getting there. I'm trying to let it just. I want it to slowly happen.
It's
I don't
interesting
like-
because I wanted the same thing, and then all of a sudden Friday I'm like, oh my god, I'm done. No, and you get that little like heartbreak, and you're like, no, it's over.
I kind of hate when I beat a game anymore because I'm like a good,
Good
game.
games, yeah.
Like I want this story to continue.
Well,
and
I had the same feeling with Horizon Zero Dawn that I did with Spider-Man. When I'm done, I'm like, oh no, it's over. I've done it all. Shoot.
so I've done all the side missions that I could possibly do, and
Yeah.
it's forcing me now to just do the story. So
I still have 12% to do in like the side missions and the bases and stuff like that. But I'm hoping to finish that up maybe midweek this week and get the platinum. So that's what I'm working on now. Moving forward though, let's get off this one. Games we'd like to see a remaster of. We briefly, I guess we talked about a couple of series that we loved in the last question of what type of games we would like to see. But this one is specifically an old game that you used to play that you would love to see a new, shiny, pretty version remastered of.
talk about yours because I gotta think.
Okay. I would love to see Siphon Filter come back.
Siphon Filter's a good one.
I would love to see Gabriel Logan and play as him again because that was a fabulous game. Close second to would be SOCOM. I would love to see SOCOM come back in all of its fabulous glory. Obviously, I like shooting in military-style games based on these two reviews.
The original SOCOM where you talk through the
Yeah,
headset.
that was the first time you got a
and tell-
headset on
you
the
tell
PlayStation.
your person to.
Yeah, I had that. It was awesome. It was amazing. And like after SOCOM 3, it just kind of crashed and burned, and it just died. So I would love to see those games. The problem I have with remasters is I want to remaster, but I also want them to change, like update the gameplay a little bit. I don't just want like, ooh, shiny new textures, yay, and it's still the old game. I want improvements done to the gameplay, especially control structures, because now the games are different than they used to be. So I would definitely.
I'm
go that
looking
route.
up the name of the game. I've got it in my head.
Got it.
I gotta-
Describe it to me.
It is a horror game
Okay.
where you take pictures to get rid of the
That would
the
be
ghost.
Fatal Frame.
Fatal Frame. Love that game.
That game was scary as
Scary
fuck. Did you
as
ever leave the pause
crap.
menu up?
I don't remember if I did or
Okay,
not.
so if you leave the pause menu up in that game, all of a sudden like faces and shit start coming out
Oh
of
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's
it's
scary.
freaky as hell, man.
That game scared me more than any game. I play every horror game. I can't get through Outlast. That's a pretty scary one.
That's because you hit. Oh man, that game. I can't do it. I can't do it. You know what we should do? We should just one day, like,
With Halloween coming up, we're
how
playing
awesome would it be
scary
if we could
games.
get like a night vision camera, turn off all the fucking lights? Actually,
Oh
well,
my
we
God.
have Dead by Daylight to play. That's a scary game.
No,
It gets my heart
no.
going.
When you first start, it doesn't get my heart going anymore because
Yeah.
I'm just used to it.
You kind of you numb yourself to something.
I'm less afraid of the killers in that game than I used to be because
Yeah. Well, you know everything about them.
I know how to. I've learned how to run away from them.
Mm-hmm.
I know how much their field of vision is.
Right, because you've played so much that you have a very enhanced understanding of the other side. So, like, when I'm playing, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. I'm out of here. Shit.
Yeah. You've done the wrong thing by telling me you don't like horror games. That they.
I mean,
do
I'll
scare
play
you.
them, but it gets my heart going. And man, I can watch a scary movie, but for some reason, having to push the stick forward and continue moving.
Do you still have access to VR?
Yes, it's somewhere in this room.
Okay. I'm getting Resident Evil 7.
Oh, okay. I hear that game's fucking amazing though.
And
on
you're
VR.
playing it in VR.
Okay.
I can't get through it because it makes my stomach churn. That's the only game in VR that makes my stomach
Yeah.
hurt, and I got to stop for a little bit. But if you don't get motion sickness,
I didn't for Batman or any of the other games.
well,
I played.
Batman, no, Batman's easy.
weird though. Yeah, Batman's weird because when you're on the building, you're like, oh,
Oh yeah.
but you're standing on the freaking floor.
You're playing Resident Evil 7.
Okay, I'll
in
play
VR.
it. We'll stream it.
Either that or last month they had a free Here They Lie.
I've never even heard of that game.
Oh, that's scary as crap in
Okay.
VR. You can play it in regular mode, but it's
Right.
scary as crap.
Well,
in VR.
because VR, you're in the world,
You're in the world,
right? And on every normal screen, you're just on the screen, but you're in the world in VR.
But even Resident Evil 7, even when you're playing it on the screen, it's still scary. But
Okay.
when you're playing this game and
Well, because like you turn and they're right there, right?
I'm
Isn't that how- okay.
there's
Well,
some junk. I don't want
well,
to talk about it because
We'll have to stream it then,
Yes.
for sure, because we'll just connect it because it sends the signal out so you can watch what's happening on the screen anyway. So we'll stream it and we'll set it all up and we'll get that working for everyone.
yeah,
That'll be fun.
Chris is going to be so much fun to watch play horror games.
Let's do it.
I can't wait.
Let's do it. Okay.
And with Halloween coming up, it's the perfect time.
It is. With
So.
I'm in.
Horror
Okay.
games those are probably my favorite genre of games.
Okay. See, I like the shooter stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
But in which Resident Evil 2 remake's coming, I'm excited for that one.
I might get that one. I haven't decided yet.
That one never scared me because I had a gun the whole time.
Yeah. So you just shoot everything, right?
But horror games are amazing.
We totally got off the subject of you wanting Fatal Frame, by the way.
Oh yeah, Fatal Frame.
Fatal Frame, the scariest moment in Fatal Frame for me was the bathroom scene where like there's nothing in there, and then you whip up the camera and there's all of a sudden someone in like
yeah.
the bathtub and you're like, oh fuck that.
Or I remember there in a bedroom, there's nothing in there, and there's finally someone's underneath the bed,
Oh god, that game was freaky as hell.
and then you've got
They should do it in
ones
VR.
that do, like, the-
Imagine a remake in VR.
Oh my god! I want to see Fatal Frame. Fatal Frame would be amazing. Better graphics.
Man, now that I think about it, Fatal Frame would work great in a VR situation because the controller, you'd have like the camera, so
You
when
could
you
use
pull it
that.
up, it'd show it like pulled up in your. Wow, that'd be sweet.
It would be a great game.
That'd be awesome.
It'd scare the shit out of you.
Yeah,
But
okay.
any of those horror games would be great in VR.
horror is a genre. I always say genre for some reason.
Genre.
I don't know why.
Genre.
Yeah, that's like GIF versus GIF, except for GIF is correct. But whatever. VR is perfect for horror games because like it just brings you into the world just a little bit more. So it's like it's the perfect fit.
Yep.
Now it's probably gonna scare the piss out of me, but that's okay. Whatever.
We'll get you a catheter.
Right,
You'll be all
right. I'll be okay then. Okay, so this is the segment of the show where we switch to non-gaming news. So non-gaming news, we don't have that much stuff to cover today because admittedly so, we even thought about this, we don't follow a lot of non-gaming news. And there's a lot of politics going on and we don't want to talk about that
I'm not
stuff right
talking
now.
about
So the few things that we did bring, Android OS is said to be going to power a bunch of cars,
Yeah.
which was very confusing to me because I was like, wait, they have Android Auto, which is in my car now, and what's the difference again?
It sounds like they're going to bring in more AI applications in your car. So I'm not sure exactly. Like the article was very vague, but do we have that article?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pull that
Just
up.
click it right there. So it's weird because it didn't sound like there was a lot of extra stuff. So you already have Android Auto in your car, just like you have Apple CarPlay. And you can talk to, what is it, just the Google Assistant? Does the Google Assistant have a name?
There, it depends
Like
on
Siri, you know, we call it Siri on the Apple side.
On Samsung, it's called Bixby.
Bixby?
Bixby, Bixby. It's a
Okay.
It's a,
Weird.
it's weird.
Although Siri's not
Um,
normal either. Which
there
I'm
is
used to it.
also you just say, "Hey Google," and it.
Buy a TV on Amazon.
It's not that.
Aw.
It's not like
We did that to my
But-
buddy Jeff because he had an Echo. And you say, buy a TV on Amazon, and it's like, would you like this TV? And you're like, yes. And he's like, damn it, no. And he had to cancel the Amazon order and everything. It was hilarious.
That's funny.
Lock your stuff if you're going to have voice control.
But it looks like
So
you're going to be
extra
able to
AI.
just talk to your car.
Can you do like the Batman thing? You talk into the remote? Shields.
That would be cool. That would be cool. But it looks like it's going to have like more AI stuff,
Okay.
more voice activated stuff. Like you can run your music a little more.
Okay. Well, see, I don't have a problem with maybe Android just needs to catch up to Siri. I'm just saying.
It might be, but the fact that they partnered with who was it?
Big car manufacturer.
Renault, Nissan, Mitsubishi.
Which is weird because those aren't the biggest manufacturers you're used to hearing. Well, Renault is big overseas. They're bigger, much bigger overseas
Well,
than they are here.
Ford and GM already have their own.
Oh, right. They got... Didn't Microsoft get into Ford Sync, right?
Ford has Sync.
Yeah.
GM has OnStar.
OnStar is actually a very good service. We have it.
Sync doesn't work, so
Yeah, one
I
of
have
our
too
friends,
much
one of
trouble
Caitlin's
with-
friends has Microsoft Sync, and like we were trying to start music, and it wouldn't do it.
it's really difficult.
Weird.
Plus, it doesn't just let you talk. Like you'll push the button and it say, "Please say something," and then it gives you examples before you can even start talking.
Oh, weird.
So I hate it.
Well, the way she was talking about it, it was like, play playlist. Okay, which playlist would you like? This one. Okay, would you like to
Right.
shuffle music? Yes. It's like, just go. God.
Yeah, it's dumb. But so I don't think Mitsubishi has anything like this. So that might be why
Maybe
why
they
they're
maybe
adding.
they need something like the Sync or something.
Yeah,
like that.
so-
That makes sense.
Google's going to take over the world.
Well, did you see their AI project where it's like I guess they were calling it like a personal assistant, but it's more than just like, because obviously the Google Voice stuff, or not Google Voice, that's actually a phone service, but the your version of Siri, whatever we'll call it that. Your version of Siri does the where you can talk to it and you can have it do things for you, like schedule calendar events and reminders and whatever else. But this thing in the demo, the person goes, make me a hair appointment for Tuesday at 2. So this thing makes a phone call and talks to the other person on the other end of the line, like actually talks to them and makes decisions and stuff.
That sounds
It was
really
so
cool,
weird.
But
It was so weird.
that reminds me of that robot that they started talking in a different language.
Right.
That they
Well,
made
because
up.
inevitably they're also going to be able to answer phones, right?
Right.
So you have a virtual receptionist that's talking, and then a virtual personal assistant that's talking, and then all of a sudden they create Skynet, and everyone's dead. Like this scary stuff, but like what kind of controls are in place is always the question.
There's got to
like,
be. You have to, because like we haven't talked about it on the show, but we've talked about it together.
Yeah.
The two robots that started
Yeah.
making their own language.
Right. They tasked those two robots with like a mundane task that they have to do a lot of. And they had made them speak English. And after a while, they realized that English wasn't efficient. So now they're making their own language of like abbreviated words and random sounds and stuff. still communicating with each other, but at a faster rate. And the people that designed this were like, nope, shut that the fuck off. I don't know what they're saying. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Like
so,
power pulled.
Yeah. So
Out.
Like
that's scary shit.
It is scary stuff. And have
Creative
you seen the android that the female android that they show on YouTube and everything, where she was asked if she'd like to kill the human race, and she just kind of giggled a little bit, like,
Fuck that. Shut that thing down now.
Yeah.
Power. Goodbye. Where's the power button? Is it like in the
I don't
nipples?
know, the
I don't
nipples
know.
just tweak
Seems
the-
like it.
turn
You
the
just turn it
nipple.
like more power, less power. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Okay. Non-gaming news, like I said, we don't have a lot, but we do have a good thing for the Browns, because we like to talk about the Browns, because, well, they are a team. Baker Mayfield's
Baker
first
Mayfield
start.
starts. And what time is it?
Well, he starts in 2 hours.
2 hours.
4:05.
I'm excited. First start for the Cleveland Browns.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous for him because, one thing that the Browns really know how to do is destroy careers.
Yeah.
So hopefully, he looked amazing.
He was throwing darts when he came in. Like,
Yeah.
better than darts, he was throwing laser beams.
It
like,
was nuts. Like that
I've
football
never
traveled
seen-
so fast.
I've
The
never
very
seen football
first throw
come out
was
of
just
come out of somebody's hands on the Cleveland Browns like that.
Never. It was nuts, and I'm excited. I'm gonna watch it for sure. Hopefully, I'll watch it for more than the
We've
first
got
period.
some nice. We don't have Josh Gordon, but
Hey, we didn't need him.
I'm
We didn't need him.
losing thought of
brain
what
fart.
the other receiver's name is, and he's
Man,
picked
it's-
up that long
I think-
bomb touchdown he caught from Tyrod Taylor. That guy.
That was amazing. And then Gonzalez fucked it up. But anyway, we got rid of that. guy.
Baker.
I think it's gonna be good.
I'm getting a number 6 jersey.
That's
for
what you
sure.
said last episode. Yeah, you said
Yep.
you're getting a Baker.
I got to
jersey.
get one.
I would like one just because I don't have a Browns jersey and I don't really have any other players that I want. So a Baker Mayfield would be pretty cool.
Baker.
I would like that. Closing thoughts. So we are having one hell of a time getting a reliable and good quality t-shirt company. I know this shirt looks decent on camera, but the quality of the shirt is not quite.
You can't see it on camera. It looks great on camera, but you look at the white and you can see through the white. You can see the red popping through, and it's not what we want.
It's blurry a little bit. It's just we want the best quality we can possibly get. So I have some feelers out for some local companies.
I won't mention any names. I've been to one, and the customer service there was awful.
Yeah. We're gonna find someone local because I want it to be local because, like we were talking about, we want to be able to
pick up the
inspect.
shirts.
We want to see the quality, make sure that it's up to our standards, so that our Dad Geek Squad is not getting these crappy shirts and they're like,
Right.
"Well, this is garbage."
And then we can personalize the shipping experience.
Shipping experience. We can work with people a little differently, so it'll be much better that way. Again, we're still trying to do that support small streamers thing. I do watch a lot of Twitch now. I watch a lot of talk shows and things like that, and we would love to hear anyone that you want us to check out. If you have a specific streamer that you watch on a regular basis and you think that we want smaller ones because we're going to throw them some subs and just kind of say, hey, good job, well done, keep doing what you're doing. But we need some help finding stuff because the one thing that's interesting is when I go onto Twitch, I look for things that I would typically watch. But if I get a recommendation from the community, that would be a little bit different because then I would go check someone out and maybe it would change my typical watch schedule or routine. So let us know. Tweet us on Twitter or Tweeter. Tweet us on the Tweeter. Yeah. On Twitter at Dad Geeks. You can also get a hold of us through Instagram, but obviously Twitter would be probably
Twitter's
a better.
the easiest way to talk to us.
We do have a Facebook group.
Facebook.
And
Not as easy. Twitter's the best way to get a hold of us.
Twitter by far is the easiest. We have Discord, so when we do some Let's Plays, but that's for another time. I don't have anything else for this episode. Do you have anything, Larry?
No.
No. Okay.
Have a good weekend. Have a good week.
Actually, I do have one more thing.
Okay.
Don't forget to tune in to our midweek Hump Day update, where we maybe if there's some updates that come from the news stories that we cover here, or if there's something that we could share, Or, you know, if there's nothing for us to share on a Wednesday, maybe we'll play a little Let's
Play
Play.
some video
and
games.
We can connect with some of the Dad Geek Squad out there. But on Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m., we do a stream. And we would love to see everyone in the chat, and we would love to see anyone, you know, volunteer to play with us as well. So don't go there. But anyway, really appreciate your viewership. Like, subscribe, share. Actually, you know, sharing is the biggest part because it's hard to start something new, and without a little bit of the Dad Geek Squad help, we can't get a wider audience. So if you can share, that really will help, and we really would appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep.
But until next time, go Browns.
Go Browns.